What's up, family? It's time to look at some more spiritual and enlightening TikToks.
If you know that your world is a simulation, why are you reacting to anything negative that confronts you in your world? If you know that it's a simulation, you know that it's just a projection from inside of you being projected out, and it's a simulation. You are living in a simulation. Why are you reacting to negative things? Why does it matter? If you know that it's being created from within you, it's something that you did to create that. Are you forgetting that you live in a simulation? Are you understanding it maybe for a few minutes, and then as you carry on through your day, the three-dimensional world, you're forgetting, and then you're reacting to different things, and you're corresponding, and you're reaching out to people thinking that you're living in a solid reality when you're not? Is that what's happening? Because whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, is just it's a trial and tribulation that you've created within yourself before it was projected out, like a mirror. Okay, you smile at a mirror, what do you get back? You get a smile right back at you. If you give a dirty look to yourself in the mirror, what do you get back? A dirty look. And the mirror, as we know, is the simulation. It's just mirroring back to you what's going on inside of you. So why are you getting upset and reacting to the mirror that's in front of you when it's not doing what you want it to do?
Right here, this, whatever this is, this right here, we think it's air. But I realize that if I stop, close my nose and mouth for 4 minutes, if I'm separated from this substance for 4 minutes, my heart don't stop, my brain don't even stop, my body functions don't stop. The first thing I lose is consciousness. I pass out. I can no longer stay aware. So I started to say, well, wait a minute. I'm not just breathing in air. I'm breathing in consciousness. I'm inhaling and exhaling God itself. And this air is conscious.
All right, so I'm hopping on TikTok to tell a story about the first time I ever astral projected. I have a lot of astral projection stories, but this is the first. So when I was around 15, 16 years old, I learned about astral projection, and it's all I wanted to do because I was already very conscious and very spiritual as a little boy. When I found out about astral projection and the possibility of it, I completely believed it. And for every night for 30 days, I told myself in my mind when I was going to sleep that I was going to astral project that night. Day 1 to day 30, I did it straight, fell asleep, nothing happened. On the 31st day, roughly, I laid flat on my stomach with my face down on a couch, and I did not think about astral projection at all. I didn't give up, but I just let it go. And I went to sleep. Now, when I went to sleep, I woke up in the middle of my sleep. For the first time ever, my body was sleeping, but I was awake. And in this place, I was kind of like in a very much more spiritual, conscious, subtle space within me. I knew my body was sleeping, but I wasn't really that aware of my physical reality or my identity or anything. But I was there and I was awake. And for some reason, I kind of just knew, oh my God, this is the launch pad to where you astral project from. So I initiated it. And what happened was, as I chose to start projecting, I heard a vibration like this. And as this vibration started, I felt the physical sensation of my physical head just vibrating like this and shaking. And the vibration just kept getting more and more and more intense. So it was like this. And then boom, I left my body. And what happened was I was laying straight like this, flat, face down on my couch. And what happened was I started to lower like this, out of my body, completely out of my body. And excuse me, I'm about to burp. Holy shit, I'm so sorry. So what happened was I started to lower. And as I was lowering, I felt myself inside the couch. Yo, when I tell you I was inside of my couch, it's the most trippiest thing ever. I can't even explain the feeling of being inside of the couch, but that's what I felt, and I knew I was there. So I immediately knew that, okay, I immediately knew, okay, I was laying face down, so I went down into my couch. So I started to reverse up and then above my body. And then I just straightened out like this perfectly. And I looked forward into my living room. I saw my living room. It was the exact replica of my physical living room. Nothing was different that I could tell. I didn't inspect things closely, but from what I could see, I was like, okay, this is my living room. But the difference was everything was a blue tint. Like in physical reality, it was pitch dark, but in the astral realm, it was like a blue tint so I could see. And the first thing I did was I slowly looked down at my hands. And y'all, you will not believe what I saw. So I looked down at my hands. I didn't have arms, right? But when I looked down at my hands, all I saw was 2 balls of energy for each one of my hands. And each ball of energy, it was like every single color. Or not every single color. It was like 5 different colors, like blue, red, orange, yellow, like roughly white. And it was just like going in circles, like super fast, like 2 balls of energy were my hands. So then I looked up and I was like, okay, so I levitated up. And then I levitated down. And then I started to move forward. And then I moved left. And then I went into my grandmom's room because her door was just open. And when I went into my grandmom's room, she was sitting in her rocking chair, just reading a newspaper or like doing crosswords or something. And I took my hand, the ball of energy, and I waved it in front of her face like this. And she didn't even bat an eye. She did not know I was there. Mind you, I think it was like 5:30 a.m. at this point in physical reality, and she was always up early. Like, she would get up at like 5 a.m. So I think that was actually her. Like, it could have been. And so I was like, she didn't see me. So then I just like moved on. So I moved to her bed and I sat on her bed like this. Mind you, I don't think I had a physical body in this place, but like, I think since I was used to like being a human, that I just sensed that like that's how I chose to move. So I sat on her bed, and then guys, when I tell you, my dog, who recently passed away before this experience, runs into the room and jumps onto the bed and starts talking to me telepathically. Her name was Violet. She was a black lab. She runs into the room. She jumps on the bed. She looks at me dead in my eyes and she screams, "I love you," like 1,000 times, just over and over and over. "I love you, I 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 love you." Just so happy to see me. So I started screaming back, "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you." And we're just screaming at each other in the astral realm, "I love you," over and over and over and over and over. And it was telepathically. It wasn't even like there was no like physical speaking, but we were saying that shit. And then after this, I just went back into my body and I fell asleep. And then I woke up in the morning and I just felt ecstatic. I was blissful the whole day. But I would always sleep with a journal under my bed or under my couch, because I was sleeping under my couch. I pull my journal out, I write my whole experience. I walk outside, and when I tell you, like, the grass was greener, the sky was bluer, the birds were just louder, and life was just lifing. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Everybody talks about
All my astro travelers out there, comment down below. Has your experience been anything similar to his?
awakening, but nobody talks about how to discern the truth from the noise. I'm gonna tell y'all why spiritual discernment is the real superpower. Spiritual discernment isn't just about judging or calling out the fakes. It's a deep inner knowing, a muscle that you build that tunes your energy to truth. In every generation, there's been teachers, healers, and shamans who've gotten silenced because their frequency didn't align with the mass media. But how do you develop discernment? It's not about reading more books or following more gurus. It's about quieting the mind, trusting the body's signal, and breaking free from programmed beliefs that cloud your judgment. Discernment feels like a gut check, a pause before you react. When you feel confusion, anxiety, or heaviness after a person or an idea, that's your soul's warning system. When you feel peace, expansion, and clarity, that's your alignment beacon. And science backs this up. The vagus nerve connects your brain and your gut, which means your gut feeling is literally your body's way of sensing truth or danger. But there's a catch. Discernment requires courage, because the truth often shakes your ego. It means saying no to toxic relationships, outdated beliefs, and even more popular spiritual ideas that doesn't serve you. Discernment means choosing your own path, even if it's lonely. So if you want real spiritual growth, start with discernment. Build it like a shield. Protect your energy. Because awakening without discernment is just confusion.
There is no greater poverty than to walk this earth with the wealth of God, the wealth of heaven within you, and still call yourself poor. The beggar's bowl in your hand is not because God is withheld from you, but because you have withheld from yourself the knowing of who you are. You keep asking for light while standing in the sun. Every thought that says you are less is a thief, robbing you of the garment you were crowned with before the foundation of the world. You are not striving to become this. You already are. The awakening is not a climb. It is a removal of the blindfold. You are not trying to become more worthy. You're simply remembering that you always have been. You're not trying to become more divine. You're simply remembering that you always have been. You are not surrounded by darkness. You simply have forgot that you are the light. There is only one power, and that power dwells within you. The same power that creates worlds, galaxies, the universe dwells within you right now, and is ready to flow through you, as you, for you, to whatever you point it towards to bring you the life that you deserve. You are everything that you desire to be. The only thing keeping you from the life you desire right now is you refuse to remember that you are already everything that you desire to be right now. I am that I am, no matter what.
You would not cancel out your child. You would want to listen to your child so you can nurture. That is what you do for your human self as well. This is your first child. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Them thoughts that you don't like that come up in your head, stop trying to run away from it. Stop trying to block it off. Stop telling it to shut up. That's actually hindering your growth and your evolution as a spirit. What you want to do is be aware of it. All you want to do is listen to it. As soon as it say some wild shit, just be like, and listen. Follow it. Let it take you on a path of enlightenment, because those dark thoughts actually lead you to the light. You are in a maze in your mind. And once you block off those thoughts and label it dark, you keep yourself stuck in the maze But if you follow it, it's going to lead you to another gate. Once it leads you to that gate, you're going to open up a different door of consciousness. Once you open up that different door of consciousness, you have reached a different light in yourself. You're going to learn more about yourself, be more aware of things within yourself, and you're going to actually be able to free yourself from those dark thoughts because you understand them. So you trying to tell those negative thoughts to shut up or block out those dark thoughts are actually keeping you in the dark instead of leading you to the light. But if you become aware of it and you just treat it like a child and you just get curious about it as you would your son or daughter, treat it like your child and nurture those thoughts. Nurture it. Figure out where it's coming from. Why is even saying that? Once you do that, it's going to unlock a different part of yourself and it's going to be removed off of you completely. But you have to start treating it like your son or your daughter. You will not cancel out your child. You would want to listen to your child so you can nurture. That is what you do for your human self as well. This is your first child. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
What if the forbidden knowledge they talk about was never about evil? It was about remembering who you are made in God's image. See, the apple is symbolic of awakening. The moment humanity became aware of itself and realized its direct connection to the Creator through Christ. Religion called it demonic to keep you afraid of the power God already put in you. But awakening doesn't lead you to darkness. It leads you to His light. The real danger is staying blind, because when you're blind, you will follow anyone who claims to have the answers. Your freedom starts the moment you start asking questions. Come out of the cage they built and walk in the light God gave you. All right?
You ever notice how life starts shifting the moment you do? There's a scene in The Matrix where a kid bends a spoon and he tells Neo, don't try to bend the spoon, that's impossible. Only try to realize the truth, that there is no spoon. That's such a deep and powerful line because you realize that the world doesn't change. You do. Your beliefs, your consciousness. Because your beliefs shape your reality, and when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. Your reality responds to your perception. Your mindset is like a lens. I like to say your inner world creates your outer world. Your thoughts and your beliefs, they create what you're seeing in your reality, what you're experiencing. So what you need to do is stop trying to force the spoon to bend. Bend your beliefs and the world around you will follow. That's when you realize there was never a spoon to begin with. Boom. And if you're ready to bend your reality, watch the free breakthrough video in my bio.
It's all up here.
So I don't think people realize that we are already artificially intelligent. I don't think people realize that the brain, B-R-A-I-N, right, is artificially intelligent. It's a machine, and it's not just this brain, right? You have 3 brains. Actually, you have 4, technically, right? Because you have a brain around the 3 brains, the container of the 3 brains. You have your brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain, and your skin, which is also a brain, the membrane, around the brains. Your body is a computer. It is a generator. It is a processor. It is a RAM. It is quite literally insane how powerful this body is. And it's unfortunate because it's been monetized, right? But a lot of people don't realize we are the land. Think about that. We are the land, but not just this land. We're stardust, right? So we're of the stars there, which is why God is within us. It's because the power, the potential of hydrogen is within us. We have the power to create awareness. Do you not realize that? You can heal your body from the inside out by speaking to it, right? You can, the way you speak to water, you can speak to water and do stuff to it. You can speak to the wind and the birds and the bees and the mist and the dew, and like you can quite literally do this. And I think it's important for people to realize that doctors study medicine, you are medicine, right? Every medicine is already in your body. Every toxin is already in your body, which means, by the way, you are already equipped to transmute that which is designed to harm you. It can't kill you unless you think it can kill you. Is that not insane?
Dropping gems.
I need to change my diet, my thought process, my thinking process.
What's the problem when you meditate?
What's the problem?
Thoughts keep coming?
Yes.
And they won't stop?
Yeah.
There ain't no problem. So you think there's a problem, you meditate. Listen, when them thoughts come, what come next is what you don't wait for.
right? Listen, let me tell you what I mean, right? If you sit down and you try to meditate and you don't do it for 30 minutes, you might as well stop, right? Because listen, it's gonna take 15, 20 minutes for all them thoughts to come up in your head. And the first thing to come in your head is gonna be bad. You gotta sit through it. Right? A lot of people can't sit through it. They want to get over it because them thoughts won't go away. They think they doing it wrong. You ain't doing it wrong. You just got a whole lot of soul trauma that you got to get through. And you can't get through it in 5 minutes. You got us?
Okay.
All right? You got to sit down for like at least 30. And after 30 minutes, you going to get a breath of fresh air. And then you going to hear a voice.
So
and it's going to give you the solution.
That's a way I can get rid of my trauma?
Yeah, listen. Well, that's going to be a way that you can meditate, and that's a start. That's not the only solution. To get rid of your trauma, you got to align your whole body because your whole body is in trauma, not just your mind.
It's your whole body, not just the mind.
There are multiple versions of you in parallel realities, and I'm going to break it down how it works. Let's get into it, family. So every possible version of your life right now exists in the quantum field, and you are tuned into one of those realities right now out of millions. Just like a radio station, these realities already exist before you tune in, but you can't hear that channel, you can't hear that frequency until you match it. This is the key. Your thoughts and emotions literally act as the tuner, so small emotional intentional shifts can completely change which reality you're tuned into. So with that being said, you don't wait for the station, the music, or the reality to change or to come to you. You shift your emotional frequency and you step into the parallel reality where that version of you already exists.
What's his name? Quantum shift. You got to make that shift.
Do you guys ever stop and think that we're all trying to survive something that is insurvivable? Think about it. We spend our waking lives running around like headless chickens, trying to put food on the table, roofs over our heads, and essentially no one's going to make it out of here alive anyway. Doesn't matter how fit you are, eventually your body will decay and you will cease in this realm. And it's not just humans, it's everything. This is a realm of survival. This is why I call it a hell realm. Everything, look around you in nature. People say, oh, nature's amazing. Lions eating antelopes alive. I saw a cat, right? A video came up on my Instagram in my bio, by the way. A cat ate its newborn babies, right? Imagine that. And people think that this place is so amazing. And so, to me, the death process is completely unnatural. Whatever this system is, whoever created this evil AI, has created this realm where we have to go through the death process. And what that does is it means that through all of our fear and pain and anxiety over that, we produce a lot of loose energy, which is what this system feeds on, our negative energy. And of course, when we all go through that process, it's like squeezing a lemon. It's like the worst case scenario when you're here is to go through that. And not only that, we see our loved ones go through it, our pets go through it. And what is that doing? It's feeding the system with all this negative energy. And that's why I say we're cows on the farm. And I believe that we are energy. I believe that we exist beyond this realm. I think death, although it's part of this experience, I don't believe that we ever truly die. But we have been incarcerated into these avatars where we are forced to go through that process because we are incredibly powerful energy. We're like batteries in the Matrix. They put us all through this trauma and fear and everything like that to harvest our energy. And so the irony is that we're trying to survive in a world designed for you to not survive. As depressing as that sounds, it's the truth.
Yeah, a lot of people say that this realm that we live in, is actually HE double hockey sticks. What do you guys think?
Think before you speak. If the words that you are about to speak aren't what you want to experience, then don't say them. Because your words are aligned with a specific timeline. When you speak them, then you align yourself with that timeline. Let me say that again. We are experiencing a 3-dimensional holographic matrix, which has infinite number of timelines. When the Bible says life and death are in the power of your tongue, what that means is, with all of these infinite timelines, when you speak, you will align yourself with new life, a new timeline, or an old timeline, which is the death of the new timeline. Speak words that will align you with the next best version of yourself. And remember that you will be held accountable for every word you speak. Not by some judge in the sky who's got a gavel ready to send you to hell for the words you speak, but the words that you speak, you will see in your reality, because your words are creative, or creation is already existing, and your words will align you with the timeline in which you are speaking.
You don't actually exist. The character and idea that I have of myself in my mind doesn't actually exist, because it's completely made up. The story is completely made up in my mind. My mind has picked different aspects of myself to then search and seek for and go on a journey and grasp, hold on to those, register, click save on those memories, and then save them and replay them. And this is the journey. This is like the story that's been playing in my head for years and years and years. I don't exist. The way that my mind, the same way that it perceives myself, also perceives my mom, perceives my brother, perceives my sister, perceives my father, perceives all through the lens of the specific things, which also could be random things that it just picked to perceive myself about. It perceives my family members in those same way. And these stories, these characters are just figments in my imagination. They don't exist. My mom does not exist. My partner does not exist. These are stories that are completely made up by my mind. And when you see how specific, how random it is, like it could have picked any way to define me. But whatever way it picked, it now defines other people in the same exact way. Especially the people that are closest to me, that have some kind of, that it has chosen, as important in some way. And so it really has some kind of significant connection to them. They don't exist. My uncle does not exist. My uncles do not exist. My family members do not exist. They just don't exist, because their existence has been some kind of perpetuation by however my mind either idealizes them or demonizes them, finds fault with them. But it's just so specific in the way that it's chosen to do this. And when you see it, it's profound. You don't exist. The story of you, the journey of you, it's just a story. But in truth, it really doesn't exist. Because you've picked a very specific way of defining yourself, of remembering yourself, of remembering, clicking save on events, life events, things that have happened to you, moments that have happened to you. You've been looking through this lens, this conditioned lens, which is really the deluded you that believes that you are this identity that your mind has made you believe. Like, I am kind, I am intelligent, I am smart, I am savvy, I'm technologically savvy, I am an athlete, I am. And so you've been living your life in a delusion that you are this thing. And maybe that you are, because you are this thing, you are not something else. But really, there is no story. You've just been believing this about you. Without this, there's just infinite possibility. Because reality is infinite. Every moment is a fresh moment. Every moment is infinite potentiality. It's not the story that you have been believing about yourself, about everything else, everyone else, what you believe you're capable of. And the people, especially the people that are closest to you, whose like narratives and like your either fear of them or like your like deriving of pleasure from them, right? Like the people that are closest to you that are playing here, the narratives about those people that infiltrate your mind, they don't exist. And you must keep and continue to clarify this over and over until it becomes clear and it stays clear. Because you have defined them in the very way that you defined yourself, and neither of you exist. And it's so subjective because I can think that I'm kind and intelligent, and then I assume that the person that I meet at the gym, who I struck a conversation with, also has that impression of me. And we know that's not true because people look for whatever they look for. And that person could think that I'm, really beautiful. And that's not on my radar, but that's on their radar. So they're going around defining themselves and everybody else through that lens of beauty. This story is just made up. It's just a fiction. It's just a story. It's nothing at all. It actually doesn't exist.
Sounds like a spiritual awakening to me. How I see it is we all live on the same world or in the same world. However, everyone has a different reality in which they are viewing things because everyone experiences things differently, right? So yeah, that's basically what that is.
When something ain't sitting right with your spirit, listen. That's your intuition. Don't ignore it. And this isn't overthinking. This isn't anxiety. This isn't negative thoughts that keep reoccurring. This is your intuition. This is something you know within you. If you feel like you need to leave, leave. If you feel like you don't need to be around them people, don't be around them people. Don't question yourself. When you know something, trust yourself. Trust you before anybody else.
What you don't know is the bum on the street is you. The person who is asking for money right now is you. The person who is in need of your services, of your life, of your attention is you. This is what you don't understand. And this is why you don't take opportunities to sow seeds into yourself by giving to other people, because there are no others. You are the only one that exists. And everyone you see is not a reflection of you. They are you. Because you aren't what you think you are. You are not a human being. You are everything. And everything is everything. So when you give to everything, you receive everything. The key is giving with that knowledge. Every gift you give, every act you take with that knowledge creates liberation for you out of the suffering of this lifetime.
Here's why it hurts so much when you start awakening. See, nobody really tells you that spiritually awakening is going to bring up everything, every single thing that you ever tried to consciously or unconsciously bury. Because you can't take unhealed pain into your next timeline. So the tears, the triggers, and all of those really uncomfortable moments that I know a lot of you are going through, because I have experienced them and I know that there's more to come because you just continuously are being cracked open, right? But those moments, those tears and triggers, that is literally your soul clearing in the most sacred way, clearing space for your truest self to embody, to take up that space so that you can receive everything that you are desiring, so that you can make space for the new you, for the true you. So just remember and take this from this video. Spiritual awakening is emotional healing. So when you find yourself crying for no reason, when you find yourself feeling like you just cannot go any further, just know you're not broken. You are remembering, and all is well. I send you peace.
You're just remembering. That's all. These are some of the most spiritual and enlightening TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on. And until next time, YouTube, peace.